Picture this. The plane door clicks shut, the engines hum low beneath your feet, and for a moment, everything feels calm. But here's the truth most passengers don't realize. The first 5 minutes after you board can determine how comfortable, how safe, and how stress-free the next several hours will be. Miss a single move here, and you'll regret it long before the cabin lights dim. So let's start with what seasoned travelers know but rarely say out loud. First, check your seat. It sounds basic, but this single habit has saved more travelers from mid-air chaos than any travel app or loyalty perk ever could. On many aircraft, seat letters don't line up the way you think. A isn't always the window, C isn't always the aisle. Airlines quietly switch seat configurations depending on the plane model, and you'd be shocked how many people only discover they're in the wrong spot after someone else shows up holding the same seat number. Make sure the letters on the overhead panel actually match what's printed on your boarding pass. If not, politely double-check with the crew before takeoff. The reason is simple. Sitting in the wrong seat can complicate safety counts, delay departure, and even get you flagged for a seat violation on record, something you definitely don't want before the wheels leave the ground. But here's a twist. There's one situation where you should move before takeoff, even if it's not your assigned spot. That comes at tip number 5. And it can protect you from one of the most common in-flight health mistakes passengers make without realizing it. Now, once your seat is confirmed, secure your luggage the smart way. Those overhead bins aren't your private locker. When airlines say shared space, they mean it. And here's where things get tricky. How you place your bag decides whether you'll be the calm passenger walking off first, or the one awkwardly waiting, trapped behind a dozen rows because your bag ended up 3 cabins behind you. Always stow your rolling carry-on vertically, handle out, like a book spine facing the aisle. It saves space and lets you grab it in seconds. But if you can't lift it up, don't risk your shoulder, or someone else's. Flight attendants aren't actually required to lift heavy bags. It's against many airline contracts for safety reasons. Instead, ask a fellow traveler for help. A small act that avoids injuries, delays, and awkward confrontations later. And remember this golden rule. If the space above your seat is already full, don't argue, look forward. Stowing your bag a few rows ahead means you'll pass it naturally when leaving. If you put it behind you, you'll have to fight the flow of passengers just to get it back. And trust me, nothing turns a peaceful landing into chaos faster than that. You found your seat, stowed your bag, maybe even exhaled in relief. But before you relax, stop. This is the exact moment when most passengers make their first major mistake. You likely walked on with your passport in hand, still warm from check-in. Maybe you slipped it into the seat back pocket just for a second. Don't. Ever do that. That pocket is a black hole. Thousands of passports vanish there every year. Once the doors open at your destination, you can't go back for it. No one's unlocking that plane for a quick grab. You'd be stranded in the terminal, panicking, while your passport flies away to another city. Instead, put every vital item, your passport, wallet, boarding pass, jewelry, and phone, in a zipped pocket close to your body or deep inside your personal bag. Not tossed loosely where they can slip out during turbulence. Not half visible where curious eyes can spot them. Airlines rarely mention this, but in-flight theft is more common than you think. Now here's where it gets unsettling. A plane, mid-flight, is the perfect crime scene. Tight aisles, dim lights, dozens of strangers sitting elbow to elbow, and half of them are asleep, wearing headphones or under the fog of sleeping pills. One quiet hand reaching under a seat. That's all it takes. I've seen passengers wake up to find their cash missing, their cards used before landing, and even their passports stolen mid-air. It sounds dramatic, but it's a growing issue airlines downplay because admitting it would scare customers. So, do what smart travelers do. Lock down your zone. Keep your bag between your legs or loop a strap around your ankle when you sleep. Don't hang it behind you or shove it halfway under another seat. And when you settle in, glance, not suspiciously, but intentionally, at who's around you. The person in front. The one beside you. The one behind. It's not paranoia, it's protection. But here's the ironic part. Not every stranger near you is a threat. Some could be your best allies if things go sideways. A simple, "Hey, how's your flight going?" does more than break the ice. It builds a silent agreement. You look out for them, they look out for you. You don't have to chat for hours. A brief hello can turn 3 cramped hours into something far smoother. And later, when you finally doze off, you'll sleep easier knowing there's a human beside you, not just another stranger with earbuds in. Here's something most passengers only realize too late. Once you're in the air, your seat isn't just a seat. It's your entire world for the next few hours. And if anything in that world doesn't work, there's no reset button. So before the cabin doors lock, take 30 seconds to test everything around you. Plug in your phone. Check that the USB slot actually powers on. Wiggle your headphone jack. Is the audio clear or cutting in and out? Tap the touchscreen. Is it frozen on some half-broken safety demo from 2018? Because here's the catch. Once that plane lifts off, you're stuck with whatever doesn't work. If your power outlet is dead, no one's crawling under your seat mid-flight to fix it. If your screen is glitching, you'll be staring at static while everyone else watches new releases. And yes, even check the recline. Make sure the button actually moves the seat back and that it isn't jammed. If something's wrong, now is your only moment to act. Quietly flag down a flight attendant, not with frustration, but with timing. Tell them before the plane starts taxiing, because once the seatbelt sign goes on, even a small swap becomes impossible. Here's a secret many frequent flyers know. If there's any empty seat available, even one in business class, this is the window when flight attendants sometimes upgrade passengers discreetly. Not because you asked for luxury, but because they need a working seat for safety compliance. It's rare, but it happens. And it only happens to those who check early. Now look above you, at that tiny air vent. Open it, close it, and angle it right where you want. It sounds minor, but cabin temperature swings like a mood, freezing one moment, stifling the next. You don't want to find out mid-flight that your vent was off and you've been sweating for 2 hours. And while you're already testing things, take out one more item most travelers ignore, that seatback safety card. Yes, the one everyone pretends to read. Give it a real look. Different aircraft have slightly different exit routes, and in emergencies, the seconds you save knowing exactly where your nearest exit is could mean everything. One more thing, grab a sanitizing wipe. Those tray tables, armrests, touchscreens, they're among the dirtiest surfaces you'll touch on your entire journey. Airlines clean fast between flights, not deep. A single wipe can keep you from catching a cold, or worse, something far nastier. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Airlines love efficiency. But efficiency means speed, and speed means corners get cut. So your safety and comfort? That's on you. Before you settle in with your movie or snack, there's one area most travelers never think to look, and it's the one that could save your life. Reach under your seat. Yes, right now. Feel around for something small, soft, and sealed in a pouch. That's your life vest. Every seat on every plane is legally required to have one. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes they're gone. Sounds impossible, right? Yet it happens. Often enough that airlines quietly check for it during inspections. Some passengers actually take them as souvenirs, not realizing they're tampering with emergency equipment. So if yours isn't there, tell a flight attendant immediately. A plane cannot legally take off until every vest is accounted for. And here's a fact airlines rarely mention. Your seat cushion can also act as a flotation device. You can detach it and hold it to your chest if needed. Let's hope you'll never test that theory, but knowing it exists brings a strange sense of calm. Now, shift your attention upward again, the air vent. It might seem trivial, but how you use it can determine whether you stay comfortable or catch the infamous airplane cold. Studies have shown that consistent airflow from your vent actually helps keep germs away by creating a small barrier of filtered air around you. Aim it gently at your chest, not your face, and you'll feel fresher throughout the flight. Then there's the reality check nobody likes to admit. You're surrounded by dozens of strangers in a tight, dim space. The truth? Not everyone on that plane boarded with good intentions. In-flight theft is real, and it happens right here, in the dark, when you're half asleep. Look discreetly around you. Who's seated beside you, in front of you, behind you? This isn't about paranoia, it's about awareness. Theft on planes often targets passengers who seem zoned out or distracted. You can prevent that just by staying alert and organized. But there's also the flip side. A small hello can change the entire tone of your flight. A polite nod or brief, "Hey, let me know if you need to get out," can diffuse tension later when bathroom breaks or tight elbows start testing patience. You don't need to chat, you just need to show you're human. Because in the sky, kindness and awareness are your best insurance policies. You've checked your seat, your gear, your safety. Now it's time to prep your mind. Because while everyone else is scrolling through TikTok or fumbling for earbuds, the smartest flyers are doing something that gives them a head start on the next 24 hours. Right now, before the cabin door locks, pull out your phone. Download the shows, playlists, or podcasts you've been saving. Not just for entertainment, this is your survival kit once the Wi-Fi drops midair. Airlines love advertising free in-flight Wi-Fi, but let's be honest, it often collapses faster than your patience at baggage claim. So get your offline library ready now. But there's another reason this moment matters. Time. Not the time on your watch, the time inside your body. Here's the trick frequent travelers swear by. As soon as you board, change your devices to your destination's time zone. It sounds small, but it tells your body we're already there. If it's evening where you're headed, act like it. Dim your screen, skip the caffeine, maybe close your eyes and rest. If it's morning, stay awake, watch something light, and sip water instead of wine. You're training your internal clock to land ready, not wrecked. Because here's what happens when you don't. You step off that plane feeling like your brain's still stuck in yesterday. Your sleep's off, your stomach's confused, and you spend half your trip trying to adjust instead of living it. I've done countless long hauls, from Canada to Asia, 13-hour stretches across oceans, and I'll tell you this, your best weapon against jet lag starts before takeoff. When you sink your time early, you land sharper, calmer, and already halfway adjusted to local daylight. And while everyone else yawns through customs, you're already 2 steps ahead. Part 6. The final routine before takeoff, and the shift that changes every flight. The engines begin to growl, seatbelts click. Overhead bins lock with a final snap. This is it, the moment the entire flight shifts from chaos to calm. Before takeoff, do what smart travelers always do. Reset your space. Straighten your seat back, close your tray table. Crack that window shade open, not for the view, but for safety. In an emergency, open shades let the crew see instantly what's happening outside. Seconds can save lives, and that's why the rule exists. Now fasten your seatbelt. Over your blanket or jacket, not under. That single detail shows flight attendants you're secure, which means you won't get tapped awake during checks. Smooth flight, guaranteed. Take one long breath. You've made it. Past the security lines, the boarding chaos, the endless waiting. Now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Suspended between the noise you left behind and the destination waiting ahead. And here's something most travelers never realize. This is one of the few places left where the world can't reach you. No notifications, no pressure, just time. The rarest luxury of all. So while others complain about legroom, you're already winning. Because you've done what they didn't. You took control of your flight before it even began. You claimed the one thing airlines can't sell. Peace of mind. And that's when flying changes forever. Because once you know how this system works, once you see the quiet tricks, the small details, the hidden rules, you'll never look at travel the same way again. You stop reacting and start anticipating. You stop rushing and start owning every moment in the air. Now close your eyes or watch the clouds roll by. Either way, you've already won this flight. And from here on, it's not just about surviving the trip. It's about mastering the sky itself. If you're still watching, you've already proven you're not an ordinary passenger. Most people stumble through airports half distracted, hoping things go right. But hope doesn't stop hidden fees, sneaky seat changes, or luggage nightmares. Knowledge does. And that's why Avoid Flight Bans exists, to make sure travelers like you never get blindsided again. Because here's the truth airlines won't say out loud. They rely on confusion. They profit from panic. They design every step, from booking to boarding, to keep you guessing. But the more you know, the less power they have. So if even one moment in this video made you think, wait, why didn't anyone tell me this before? Hit subscribe right now. You'll get the updates, the warnings, the loopholes before everyone else does. And if you've got a friend or family member flying soon, share this with them. Help them travel like a pro, calm, prepared, unshakable. Because the next video, it dives even deeper, exposing the secret airline perks hidden in plain sight. Free upgrades, unclaimed meals, and VIP lounges you can access without a business class ticket. Most passengers will walk right past them. You won't. This is Avoid Flight Bans, travel smart, stay alert, and remember, in the sky, knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom.